One of the main causes of shoulder pain is weakness in your rotator cuff. You see, the rotator cuff is actually 4 small muscles whose primary job is to hold your shoulder in a healthy alignment, especially during movement. But if it's weak or not performing its proper function, that can result in faulty motion at the shoulder that ultimately leads to common conditions such as impingement, tendonitis, bursitis, and even rotator cuff tears. Therefore, one of the best things you can do to eliminate shoulder pain now and prevent it from coming back in the future is to keep your rotator cuff strong and healthy. That's exactly what I want to share with you in this video today. These are 5 of the best exercises that you can do to strengthen your rotator cuff and eliminate shoulder pain. This first exercise is called a full can, and it's going to target the supraspinatus muscle right here on the top, which is really great because that's the one that gets affected with impingement and rotator cuff tears. So this is a great way to promote strength and function in that area. We're going to grab 2 dumbbells or 2 cans or 2 water bottles and then hold them here at your side. First step is I want you to pinch your shoulder blades together and pull them down a little bit. The easiest way to do that is I want you to point your chest up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to raise the dumbbells up into this position, but please note it's not straight out to the side, it's about 30 degrees in front of that. That's the best position for that supraspinatus muscle to pull from. And so we're going to come up to just about shoulder height. Too much higher than that, we kind of get into that impingement area. So come up to about shoulder height and then slowly return right back down to that starting position. Keep your chest up to the ceiling, pull up to shoulder height, hold, and then slowly return right back down. And typically on this one, I recommend 3 sets of 10 reps. This next exercise is one of the best ways to strengthen your external rotators, your infraspinatus and your teres minor. This is going to be side-lying external rotation. You're going to lie down on your pain-free side so that that painful shoulder is up. This is a small towel. I'm going to put that right here on my side, right between my elbow and my torso. Now this hand, I'm going to grab a small dumbbell. Once again, you can use a can or a water bottle or something like that just to add a little bit of resistance. In this position, I want to keep my elbow at this 90-degree bend and then pull the back of my hand all the way up towards the ceiling, hold 1, 2, and then slowly return right back down to that starting position. Pull up towards the ceiling and then slowly back down, 1, 2, 3, and then repeat that one for reps. You're gonna feel this, again, right in those little rotator cuff muscles, should be right in the back of your shoulder and right on top of your shoulder blade is where we're trying to feel this one. We would do 10 repetitions and repeat that 3 times. Now, if we want to take things a step further, we can start to include some scapular stabilization exercises. Basically, we're going to work the muscles around the shoulder blade so that it holds your shoulder and rotator cuff in a better position. A row and rotate is one of the best ways to do that. I'm going to take that same small weight. You're going to lay down on the edge of your bed or edge of the couch. Sometimes couch is a little bit too low for this one. And then with that dumbbell hanging down towards the ground, the first thing I'm going to do is pull my elbow up to the side. So it looks like this. I've got that 90-degree bend in my elbow right here at the top position. Now I'm going to engage the rotator cuff to rotate that weight up towards the ceiling, hold 1, 2, and then return to this position, and then return to the starting position. And so it's kind of a 4-step process. We're going to pull into a row, we're going to rotate up towards the ceiling, we're going to rotate back down, and then we're going to complete the row just like this. And what you should feel with this are those muscles around your shoulder blade. As we pull into that row motion, they're going to be active, but then when we rotate up here, that's what kicks on that rotator cuff and strengthens those rotator cuff muscles. This is one of my personal favorites, and what we're going to do is 10 repetitions and then repeat that 3 times. For our last 2 exercises, we're going to need some resistance band, or you can also do these on a cable machine. If you don't have any resistance band, I've got my set linked in the description down below this video, so you can check that out. This is going to be a face pull. What we're going to do is anchor the band a little higher so that it's at about eye height, and then we're going to pull on the tails to finish in this position right here. And so it looks just like this. I'm going to pull my elbows back behind me, I'm going to pull pull my hands behind my elbows, and I'm going to finish right here in this position. Hold 1, 2, and then slowly return to that starting position. And so to get a little bit better view for this, we're gonna pull, it's gonna finish in that position. My hands are nice and wide. My hands are behind my elbows. I'm gonna hold 1, 2, and then come right back down. And so initially we're gonna feel this between our shoulder blades and even in the trapezius muscles, kind of the lower traps down below our shoulder blades. That's gonna pull us into this position, and then we wanna kick on those external rotators to get back into this position. Try to keep your elbows down below the level of your shoulders while you perform this exercise. 3 sets of 10 is the number that I recommend. And then finally, the last thing that I want to show you is going to be a band external rotation press. And so now I'm going to anchor this band down here a little bit lower. I personally like to do this exercise kneeling because it prevents me from arching my back, and using a lot of my back muscles to do this exercise puts more emphasis on your shoulder, on your rotator cuff muscles. And so I'm going to kneel down in this position. Starting position is right here. Now, just like on the table, that first position, or the first thing I'm going to do, is pull my elbow back behind me. From here, I'm going to rotate the back of my hand back behind me, and now I'm going to hold this nice and strong as I press up towards the ceiling, and then come right back down, reverse all of those steps to that starting position. And so this is probably one of my favorite exercises. Usually we do this one a little bit later in rehab, just because it adds that functional component of actually lifting that arm up overhead. But as we lift the arm overhead, there's still a ton of engagement in the scapular muscles and in those external rotators. People who can't lift their hand overhead because it's painful oftentimes find this is more comfortable because that rotator cuff is engaged and holding that shoulder in a better position while they do it. And so the typical recommendation here, you guessed it, we're gonna do 10 reps and we're gonna repeat that for 3 sets. I hope these exercises help your shoulder to feel better. Thank you so much for watching.